Have you ever worked with someone who is incredibly talented, highly educated, dependable, and consistently delivered great results, yet they seemed unhappy at work? Maybe that person was you. Perhaps you've reached a point in your career where you feel like you're doing everything right. You're meeting deadlines. You're earning positive performance reviews. You're investing in professional development. Yet, somehow you feel stuck. You wake up on Monday morning, dreading going into work. You find yourself questioning whether your work even matters. You wonder why your career isn't progressing, despite all your effort. If any of this sounds familiar, you're not alone. Today we're discussing why talented people feel trapped at work, and more importantly, what they can do about it. Now, this topic is important because many organizations assume that disengaged employees are lazy or unmotivated. And in reality, some of the most disengaged employees are also the most talented. The problem isn't always a lack of ambition. Sometimes the problem is a lack of growth, opportunity, purpose, or recognition. And by the end of this video, you'll understand the major reasons talented professionals feel trapped, how to recognize the warning signs, and practical steps for regaining control of your career. Now let's get into it. One of the biggest misconceptions in the workplace is that success automatically leads to fulfillment. Many professionals spend years pursuing promotions, certifications, advanced degrees, leadership opportunities, and higher salaries. Yet after achieving these milestones, they often discover something surprising. Success doesn't always eliminate dissatisfaction. Why? Because human beings are wired for growth. Once we've mastered one challenge, we naturally seek another. Think about learning to drive. At first, driving feels intimidating. You're gripping the steering wheel really hard, but then eventually it becomes second nature. The same thing happens in our careers. The projects that once excited us become routine. The challenges that once stretched us become predictable. And when growth stops, frustration begins. Many talented professionals aren't exhausted because they're working too hard. They're exhausted because they're no longer being challenged. The work has become repetitive. The learning curve has flattened. Their potential exceeds their current responsibilities. Now, this creates a dangerous gap between capability and opportunity. And that gap, it often feels like a trap. Now, let's start with the most common reason talented people feel trapped. They have outgrown their current role. Imagine wearing a pair of shoes that fit perfectly 5 years ago. And today, those shoes feel tight and uncomfortable. The shoes didn't change. You did. The same thing happens professionally. Many employees remain in positions that once fit their skills and aspirations. But over time, they gain experience. They develop expertise. They become more capable. Yet their role remains unchanged. Eventually, what was once challenging becomes easy. What was once exciting becomes boring. What was once a learning opportunity becomes routine maintenance. When this happens, people begin asking questions like, is this all there is? Am I reaching my full potential? What would happen if I pursued something bigger? These questions aren't signs of disloyalty. They're signs of growth. And unfortunately, many organizations overlook this reality. Instead of creating new opportunities for talented employees, they continue assigning the same responsibilities. And as a result, employees become disengaged, not because they're unwilling to contribute, but because they're no longer being stretched. The irony is that comfort can become a career obstacle. Growth rarely occurs when we're operating on autopilot. Growth occurs when we're learning, adapting, and stepping outside of familiar territory. Now let's discuss another reason talented people feel trapped. Effort without opportunity. Many professionals were taught that if they work hard enough, success will naturally follow. While hard work is important, reality is often more complicated. Some employees consistently exceed expectations. They volunteer for additional projects. They mentor others. They earn advanced certifications. They invest in themselves. Yet year after year, they watch others receive opportunities that seem out of reach for them. After enough disappointments, people begin asking, what's the point? This is where motivation begins to decline. It's difficult to maintain enthusiasm when your efforts appear disconnected from advancement. Now, I'm not suggesting that promotions should be automatic. However, employees need evidence that growth is possible. They need to see pathways forward. Without visible opportunities, even the most motivated professionals can begin to feel trapped. The lesson here is important. Never tie your entire sense of progress to a title or promotion. Focus on skill development. Focus on building relationships. Focus on expanding your expertise. These investments remain valuable regardless of organizational decisions. Now, we're going to switch to the topic that many people often assume that money is the primary motivator at work. Compensation matters, but purpose matters too. Talented professionals want to know that their contributions make a difference. They want to understand how their work impacts customers, communities, colleagues, or organizational outcomes. Without purpose, work can become transactional. You complete tasks, attend meetings, respond to emails, repeat the process tomorrow. Eventually, you begin wondering whether any of it matters at all. Purpose transforms routine work into meaningful work. It helps employees connect daily activities with larger outcomes. And one of the best ways to reconnect with purpose is to ask yourself, who benefits from my work? How does my work improve someone else's life? What problems am I helping to solve? Answering these questions often reveals a deeper significance behind seemingly ordinary responsibilities. And perhaps the most surprising reason talented people feel trapped is fear, specifically fear of change. Many professionals stay in situations that no longer serve them because uncertainty feels risky. They've invested years building credibility. They've established financial stability. They've become experts in their field. Starting over feels uncomfortable. So they remain just where they are. Not because they're happy, but because they're familiar. Unfortunately, familiarity can disguise stagnation. The longer we avoid change, the easier it becomes to justify remaining stuck. Growth often requires courage. It requires learning new skills, building new relationships, exploring new opportunities, and occasionally leaving environments that no longer support our development. If you've been feeling trapped at work, I want you to remember something. Feeling trapped doesn't mean you're failing. It may simply mean you've outgrown your current circumstances. The solution begins with honest self-reflection. Ask yourself, what skills do I want to develop? What challenges excite me? What opportunities have I been avoiding? Who can help me grow? What kind of impact do I want to make? The answers to these questions can help you identify your next step. For leaders watching this video, remember this: talented employees don't leave because work is difficult. They leave because growth becomes impossible. Create environments where people can learn, contribute, innovate, and advance. When people see a future, they remain engaged. When they see a dead end, they begin looking elsewhere. Thank you so much for watching. And if this message resonated with you, leave a comment below and tell me, have you ever felt trapped at work? What helped you move forward? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who may need this encouragement today. Until next time, continue growing, continue learning, and never settle for unrealized potential.